What is going on, Cowboy Nation? Man, has it been a minute since I've seen you guys, since I've chatted with you guys. I haven't had my fix this week, man, and I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited about this upcoming game. I'm excited what this defense, this offense, everybody can do, but most excited I am that, of course, that Bryan is joining me. What's going on, Bryan? How you doing? Trying to get it all together.
What's up, Primetime, man? It feels like it's been forever since me and you have been on. I don't know.
Does. It
I
does.
miss you guys.
I thought there was a whole offseason that happened. I was like, what happened during the Cowboys last night?
You gotta be kidding me. Jack Meeker? Come on, dude. Jack, you're killing me. Anyway, go ahead.
What? I was like, what's going on here? What's going on here?
Jack's killing me already.
He's trying to get his predictions in. And Angelica as well. Yeah, Angelica's in there doing her thing. Brooklyn Joe, of course, joining us very early, and Mike Aldana holding it down as well. So I appreciate everybody being here. I'm ready to talk about this upcoming game, a Sunday night football game. I wasn't even, and we got to wait all day. It's one of those ones where we got to wait all day.
I hate it. I hate it.
You see, if other teams win, it makes it worse for us. Yeah.
The only good thing is, Phil, is that it's a primetime game. You would think that in itself would allow us to be up for the lowly Indianapolis Colts. But they're wearing the damn red stripe helmet.
Yeah. So the nice thing about this, though, if there is a butt whooping to happen, we're not going to some other game. So we're going to be able to broadcast this whole game.
They can't do nothing.
I could see this game going in so many different directions. Obviously, it depends on what the Cowboys do and what if they get in their own stinking way. Is it are the Colts offense anything? Or they have an ID of any kind where they kind of like a go-to type of move? Hey, we need some points on the board. Let's give it to our running back.
Run the ball.
The running back that hasn't been there all season. Yeah, and that's basically what it is. I mean, we all know Matty Ice is not the same quarterback he was in Atlanta. He's not throwing those deep balls. He's holding on to it. Can't move in the pocket like he used to. I'm not saying that all of a sudden he can't whip it out and see the fountain of youth happen because of course.
I got you.
But whip it around at least. But hey, you know how they play against the Cowboys. I mean, people always kind of elevate their game. So I mean, I don't see it happening with Matty Ice, but hey, to be competitive, it would just be anything. But I really see this defensive line kind of feasting on this O-line that's kind of had its, it doesn't know it. It doesn't know what it is. And there's so many bad things about this offense, but at the same time, for the Colts, the defense is what keeps them in games. The defense is ranked. The defense is pretty stacked when it comes to a lot of the positions. I know one position.
Yeah, well, Mike.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. You were talking about Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mike Aldana, them boys just need to take care of business. Don't play around with Matty Ice and make Jeff Saturday he starts under those bright lights at AT&T Stadium. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those deals, and I'm with Angelica. I'm just a superstitious person. Now,
I know.
If there's a game, I would think next week, but if there's a game that we going to wear the red stripe, I think we could get away with it.
Well, I mean,
but after the last, listen, it's a salute, to the servicemen and the newly awarded Medal of Honor winners. So, like recipients. So that in itself is a great thing. Don't mistake me. But as a Cowboy fan, and the last time we saw them, they were getting their ass handed to them.
Yeah, and I think, also,
the right mindset, I'm fine.
When you see the predictive scores, I mean, you see Cowboys unanimously across the board. And again, that's another thing, that when Cowboys are unanimously across the board, that, so there's a lot of things that say that it could be
unanimous on Thanksgiving, so, look at it that way.
Yeah, well, I just like the fact that, this is a good matchup for Dallas, I think, for the running game. I think it's a good test because I think going into some of these matchups here on offense, let's go ahead and start on there in the offense for the Cowboys. I think, of course, you got two great running backs here. It doesn't matter who you start. You kind of get one. You got the recipe of how to get them involved, what to use each one. How do you see them playing against this Colts defense that is pretty good at the run?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to mix it up. I think Dak, come on, man, look at Dak's numbers. Dak is a beast right now. He's feeling it. This is a game where I don't want to see them go for it. Fourth and 2 on their own 30. There's no need for that. It's better to punt the ball. Do not give a team like Indianapolis a short field. This is a game where if you're coming down to the second half, don't throw the ball over the middle in like double coverage just to make a first down. Mm-hmm. Be smart about it. Run the ball. Play action. You know, it's the same drill that works for us. Run the ball. Screens. Play action. Dak Prescott, like an occasional bootleg. That's how we win. Our defense will feast against it.
I think so too.
This Colts team. You just don't want to give them short fields and make it easy for them. Make them drive the ball 80 yards, 75 yards. Make them drive the ball. We'll be fine.
I think Brooklyn Joe makes a great point. He says that we have room to make a few mistakes and win anyways. And it's true because you see a big difference in the talent. So if you keep the game plan simple, you allow your talent to just do their thing and just overpower the other team. So, I mean, I think it's a great test for our running game to see if it can continue on, to see if the blocking can continue, because this O-line has been meshing very well most recently. Looking pretty good. I mean, you got some other pieces that are in the wood, in the you know, just on the batting deck, getting ready to do their thing and maybe switch some of this lineup. You know, yeah. I mean, and when you look at, like, for example, okay, CeeDee Lamb, we'll give him credit. He's been doing way better, looking like a number one, going in that direction. He's going to go into this game. Got probably most likely a Stephon Gilmore going to be following him. Stephon Gilmore, not the same corner, but still a good corner, a good test for CD.
Forget how good this Colts defense is.
Mm-hmm.
You can say what you want, but they held the Eagles 17 points.
That's what I'm saying.
The Eagles did everything they could to win that game.
Yeah, they're really
Colts, good. You have to put them away. They're not going to go away.
Yep.
You know Matty Ice will help you.
That's correct.
Like Angelica says, I'm excited to see the results in the mailbox. Angelica, it's already locked and loaded. It's sealed. It's hermetically sealed.
And she likes my hurdle graphic. Woo, woo, woo. Brian will see it later.
He's going to like it. He's just like stealing my thunder, but that's side. Limmerman, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Gina Thorne's in the house. It's Saturday. I don't think you're driving, are you, Gina?
Yeah, nice.
Probably. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
Limmerman, they are okay against the run. Let Elliott Hammer and Dak RPO take a few. Yeah, exactly, Limmerman. That's what I'm saying. Man, it's like one of those deals where I really think, don't laugh at me, but I think if Dak can do what he's been doing over the last 3-4 games and he goes right through the season, he's going to be in the MVP at the end of the year. I'm not saying he's going to win it.
Well, let's look at Dak and his things. I mean,
he's going to be in the and go ahead with that because I know where Phil's going.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Dak, right now, since he's come back, he's put this offense now within the. Of course, we're talking about the game since Dak has been back. It's not the whole season average. So what other people have been doing, prior to the season, it doesn't get averaged into that. So you can make the argument that it's kind of skewed a little bit. But when it comes to Dak, first in points per game. They got first and third down conversions after 57%. First in points per drive. I think that's a big one too. It's not just field goals. I mean, I like that Money Maher has been doing this thing, but you're not having to rely 100% on him. You're second in yards per game. And then since he's been back, of course, putting a bigger emphasis into the passing game. I mean, you saw the game where there are 46 pass dropbacks. They're still fourth in yards per game when it comes to the rushing. So, I mean, it's still, they're doing their thing. I mean, I like he's getting the ball moving. This is what we were talking about earlier in the season when we were talking about Cooper Rush, about, all those guys were talking about how Cooper Rush should be this guy going forward. You understood the arguments. We understood what we were playing. But if you play that same exact football with a quarterback that could kind of get it down the field if he doesn't do his gambling, it's really nice to see. I just, it was being on the same page, I think. But you're right. I mean, Dak has been a really good quality MVP type candidate. It's just, missing that beginning part of the season, that could harm him. But I'm interested to see how he does, because if they do stop the running game, can the passing game get going? Do you see guys like Gallup, Ferguson, Schultz, all those other guys that maybe if CeeDee Lamb is being covered more, do you see those guys, making an effect in this game?
Yes, I absolutely do. I think with or without OBJ, and we'll get into that and my latest opinion regarding that, or not opinion, educated guess on what's going to happen there. I think we're good, man. I think that James Washington, I'll be surprised if he's not active, regardless of what Mark Holmes says. He calls him the unicorn. We keep talking about him. It's not James Washington's fault that he got hurt and broke his fifth metatarsal, I think, literally the first practice of camp. It's not his fault. But he's going to bring something to this team that we're going to need. We've been talking about Turpin. He can do a lot of the same things that Turpin can do on offense as far as the routes we want him to run.
He's just
and
bigger.
He's a lot thicker,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm excited to see him. He's actually going to be able to play this year. And like I said, we'll get to the OBJ thing. I'm excited. Did you see? Yeah. You brought up Schultz and them. Did you see that the NFL did find them?
Yeah, I saw that they did.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Yeah.
Just listen to this, people. They find Dalton Schultz $13,261. My guess is it's a percentage of their overall
salary.
That's the only thing I can think of. They find Jake Ferguson $4,895. Poor Peyton Hendershot, who's a walk-on, they find him $3,944. And then Sean McKeon, the same amount. A grand total of over $27,000. They fined us for jumping in the kettle.
And did they donate it?
Pick up.
I'm gonna say, and did they donate it?
That's gonna pay the bill. Money bags. Yeah, that should happen, but it's a joke. I don't understand the NFL, man. Nobody got hurt there. Nobody was embarrassed. Nobody was shown up.
Now,
really got to.
It's always that certain standard, the Cowboy standard. Let's find them. Let's penalize them. Let's do treat them with the because of course with
probably
Goodell,
some stupid rule, but come on.
Dizzy Mage says, "Do you think there's any chance that the Colts win?" I think there's always a chance. I think there is a recipe.
Dizzy, yes.
Yeah, there is a
recipe. Red stripe, Dizzy. Anything can happen.
So I mean, there is a recipe. I mean, this defense struggles against the run. I mean, they have held each other accountable. So you're seeing that maybe, it is improving. Now that doesn't mean you're automatically just good just because you guys know that you have to do it. So I mean, the running game could definitely tear us apart. The offense getting in their own way, whether it's the penalties. I mean, the penalties is still a thing. Whether you want to say it's our discipline or whether it's the refs doing it, it's a combination of just crap that just penalized. And you're overcoming some of those things, but if you don't overcome them with a better defense like the Colts, yeah, man, there is definitely a recipe out there. You've seen Dak kind of force balls sometimes that he shouldn't be throwing, or even Lamb or somebody just not being on the same page. So I think, yeah, there's always a possibility.
I will say though, the last couple of weeks, I mean, I'm going to give Dak a pass. I told him he's got to be careful with the ball in the red zone. I'll say that to any quarterback anywhere. I mean, you saw Josh Allen. I don't know if you saw it the other night where he was going to the sideline and he threw the ball.
Oh God, yeah,
into the end zone.
Yeah,
across his body. Listen, it worked out for you, but
that's not a good recipe.
I would say 7 out of 10 times, even Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes, that's a no, man. You don't do that in the NFL. He got away with it. If you saw, the D-back gave up on the play. Yeah. That was a stupid move by him. But listen, yes, we could lose. Dizzy, do I think we're going to lose? Absolutely not. I think we're going to be good to go. I think this team is different. Until they're not, until they prove to me that they're not. This defense is different than it was last year. That's why everybody keeps saying, "Oh, but you don't want to see this team in the playoffs. You don't want to see that." Don't worry about that. It all comes down to what's our health going into the playoffs and how are we playing. And I think listen, you call me stupid. I think we could run the table the rest of the year. I honestly believe we could do that. Injuries aside, hopefully we stay healthy. I think this team's going to keep getting better and better. I just do.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, somebody tell me I'm wrong, and then I'll listen to you. I don't think so. I think this team's going to get better.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about it is, as much as we're talking about the one side where, I mean, there's always the possibility of losing. You saw this Colts team beat the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Am I wrong? Did that happen, right?
No, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, so it is a possibility. The only thing is, too, I could see on the other scale, I could see Cowboys putting up a 50 burger if they really got the shit going. And so, I mean, the potential is within this Dallas offense. It's just, can they get out of their own damn way sometimes, man? If you just get whether it's decision making, whether it's Kellen Moore, there's a couple of things there that, yes, Brooklyn Joe says it. It's just like they can afford to make some of these mistakes and get. You saw it with the Giants game with the talent difference. Yeah, you made some mistakes, but you were able to overcome it because of the talent difference, and you just started running the ball and just doing simple plays. You weren't doing your triple reverses and until you got the lead, obviously. But I'm just interested to see other guys, because I know I'm interested to see some kind of matchups here where CeeDee Lamb, for example, if Gilmore does follow him, I want to see that. I want to see CD kind of counter that. He's going in that trajectory where he's getting to that number one talk. Now, can you add some elite status with that number one? I think you have a really good number two in Gallup, possibly James Washington, or whether it's a mystery guest that we may have in a couple of weeks. I like the potential, but again, will this offense get out of their own way? I'm interested to see this tight end. I think the tight ends will get a big thing in this game. They'll have a big role, whether it's the blocking, whether it's the catching. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I'm thinking we need to build off of what Hendershot, Ferguson, McKeon, whoever is in the game. Schultz, he's Dak's guy. We need to build off of that and let these teams say, oh my God, they could get the ball to one of these guys. They're not just a possession. Not so much McKeon, but the other three guys, they're not just a possession, get a first down type receiver, tight end. These guys could get some serious rack after the run after the catch. So I think we need to build off of that. I'm loving the two-back set where you have Zeke and Pollard. I love the wheel routes. This team, and I made this comment, I believe, last week. It's been so long, right? That everybody's saying Dallas doesn't want to play this team. Dallas doesn't want. If we're playing the way we're capable of playing, who is going to want to play us in the playoffs?
Yeah.
I ask you that. Who's going to want to play the Cowboys, and be honest about it? What, are you relying on the fact that they'll choke? That's all you have? You can't go by defense. We're a lot tougher than we were last year. Zeke's healthy.
So how many sacks do you think when you look at this team? Like when you look at when you look at the Colts offense, you just look at the fact that they allowed the most sacks in the NFL. You look at the defense for the Cowboys, they get the most sacks in the NFL. What's going to happen here?
I'll be surprised if it's 7, just because we think it's going to be
more.
7,
yeah, it could be. Could be. Yeah.
I could see 5. I could see 4 or 5 sacks with a shit ton of pressures.
I think
him dumping the ball off, getting intentional grounding, trying to get rid of the ball.
That's the question.
But I think they're going to try and run the ball a lot too. So as long as they don't turn the ball over, they're going to have to throw at some point, right?
What about the chat? What do you guys think? Do you think, how many sacks do you guys think? I mean, to me, to get back, I think Mark was saying about this, it's like to get back on track, you need about 7 sacks. And man, when you look at the recipe for this game, it's got big potential. I mean, this Colts offense doesn't do a whole lot of rolling out and moving, Matty Ice around.
Yeah, I think our sack total is going to be a direct correlation to how many points we score on offense early.
Ooh,
if we can put points on the board, there are going to be a lot of sacks.
Same with Dizzy.
We can't, and we're settling for field goals, we're doing long drives, 3 points, long drive, 3 points, we're only up 1 score. 1 touchdown, we're losing. You know what I mean? We need to get 7, not 3 early, and go from there. That's where the number is going to lie. If we get up 14-0, it's going to be a long day for Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. You got some guesses in here. You got Dizzy saying
Matty Ice.
6 sacks. He didn't labels it. He says 2 for Armstrong, which is very doable. Lawrence is going to all of a sudden go off, and 1 unnamed. Because Parsons are going to be triple teaming him.
Armstrong, man, he's balling this year.
He is. There's a lot of guys.
24. I didn't think he was that young, man. He's got a bright future, that kid.
Well, with a lot of this, a lot of these guys switching around and doing their thing, of course, earlier in the week they released Terrell Basham. That was a pretty big move. Wasn't he injured? So, ooh.
He was injured. Doesn't play the run great. They really wanted to get Tack McKinley on the field. Supposedly, he's looking jacked. So, he's better against the run. He's got a history with Dan Quinn. And by the way, I'm hearing these. I don't know who it was, but I know who. It was in a group chat I'm in. Somebody said, Houston's going to be looking for a new coach. Dan Quinn's gone. Dan Quinn only has a specific, not few teams that he would even think about coaching. The good organizations. I ask you folks, if Denver fires their coach after 1 year, you would think Dan Quinn would say, whoa. You're going to fire a guy after 1 year? I know it's a great job to have, but let's slow down that Dan Quinn's definitely leaving. Mm-hmm. Jerry will throw money at him unless there's a job that I don't know of right now that's so desirable. Russell Wilson looks like a shell of himself. So there's not many. What I'm trying to say is there's not many jobs that Dan Quinn's going to want. Maybe the Giants job, he ain't going nowhere. Maybe the Seattle job, he ain't going nowhere. So let's just hold off. Maybe Arizona, I don't know. But
that's not about it. Yeah.
Let's slow that talk down. Everybody's talking about he's gone. Hey, Captain Talk, you're welcome to the show.
Yeah, Cole's Cowboys says, I'm nervous about this game and the illness. It's understandable. I mean, there's a lot of things that stack there that, it should be an easy path. The Cowboys should win. Yeah. But you know how, sometimes we like to play down to that competition. And sometimes when you watch the Colts play, they actually play pretty well up to other competition. So, again, that defense like ours keeps them in games. And so... But I really like our defense in this matchup, man. I think it could be a long day for the Colts. Definitely have the potential to have this Minnesota game where you had a high scoring offense that didn't do crap, and now you have an offense that doesn't have an identity coming in that they can really tee off on every part of this offense. I think the running game again, it's going to be on that. As we go back over to the chat, I got Best Rapper says Russell Wilson washed, Dak light skin QB number 1.
Hey Jack Meeker. If we, I'm getting to that, Cole. Come on,
Jackson,
I am excited, y'all. It ain't going to be a slow start either. The D might slow down our offense some, but the game will be in control from the start.
I think so too.
Hey Jack, I hope that if we win the toss, we defer. Please defer.
Man. Yeah, all season, the rest of the
Colts
season.
Cowboys, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining. He's nervous. You sound like me, Cole. I'm the guy who's always
I'm the one that's
kind of giving deference to the other team. But I just
every team. There's a reason why they're NFL teams. But this is a very good matchup. I think there's
Colts
in a lot of ways. I just think that's true.
Everybody forgets they have a short week. We have extended rest. It's not a Thursday to Thursday. It's a Thursday to a Sunday. Yeah, we got guys that are still dealing with the flu.
But you like how our team doesn't do great about the extended rest. So there is some things there.
It's the perfect time of year to have that extended rest. You play 3 games in 11 days or whatever. It's good to get that 10-day break. Like I said, we had a half a dozen guys that played in the Thanksgiving game that had the flu. They were getting IVs in the locker room before they walked out on the field. So they were not at 100%, even all the guys that played. Shout out to J-Ron Curse. He's ready to go this week. He's got a separated shoulder. You might see him having to pop it in every once in a while. That dude's a tough dude. If anybody's had a shoulder injury, that's rough, man. And to play football with that?
Be hitting and with the shoulders and. Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah, when you look at this team, I mean, let's talk about when you look at the overall team. I think a lot of categories are top 10. You're seeing a lot of the out of that. Even the defense, for example, being the sacks, being first, pressures like second or third. I think it was TDs allowed was like second, and then of course points per game allowed was first. I mean, this defense has been feasting all season, and we kind of knew that this, again, going into the season, we brought this up, that we knew that this team was going to improve defensively because we saw the pieces there. But man, has it's just been crazy. I mean, what has impressed you the most about this defense?
I would say first and foremost our speed. And everybody could say what they want about us stopping the run. I think we're 24th, believe it or not, against the run. That's just because teams are running the ball even when the game's out of reach. We're giving up a lot of slop yards where, what Chicago did. Their game was out of reach, yet they were still gashing us with the run. But I would say our team speed, Micah, as you see, he's playing more on the line of scrimmage, which is allowing Damone to play more at linebacker. That's what I want to see. I want to see less of Micah, but more on the line, if you know what I mean. Give him a rest early on and down. Let him attack. Damone's only going to get better with Leighton Vander Esch playing. I would even like to see, as we get into later in the season, bring in Jabril Cox to get some run and passing down. I really would like to start seeing that because I think he needs to be a part of the future as well. And I think you could do that and still win, which is the beauty of playing Damone Clark. I think our secondary needs to tighten up. That's the one area where Anthony Brown and company, other than everybody not named Diggs, needs to get their act together and play like their counterpart. Yeah, I know, Captain Taki. It's actually one day in. I went a little too deep on the touch up. I said I'm just going to take it down and restart. So
see, when I do that, it's because I
go, what up?
Ow, dang it! I get a big, huge spot because I messed up and I'm I'm not going to take the rest off, like the bounce. But yeah, Jeff Sokow explained it. Yeah,
with the logo.
Jabril Cox is a mystery, and it's true, man. You have some flashes. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Kind of like a Tolbert thing where you're like, okay, is he in trouble? Is he like on timeout? Like, did he sleep with someone's wife? Like what happened, dude? Like, he's I just we want to see more of him, but giving us Damone Clark, seeing some action there, seeing his speed come in, even though he's coming off that same thing that LVE was coming off of. But you even see guys like LVE, man, he was getting in the hole last week, really taking some hits. Man, he's looking good. Obviously, it's up and down, but I have not seen a lot of negativity from LVE. I've seen a lot of where it's either average game to really good game. So, I mean, you got to give him credit.
Jack. Thanks, buddy. Baby face. My mother used to say, I got a baby face. I have a face only a mother could love, right? I have a face for radio.
Jack Meeker says, we need to set these next 3 games and knock them down. I mean, this is turkey bowling time. And it's true, man. It's get those XX in, knock those things down, strike it out. Because these are really good. Get your team going, getting into a rhythm, rest some people to try to get some depth, some playing time. I mean, they got to get ready for some playoff football. You don't know what situation they're going to be thrown in, so getting them opportunities. It was nice to see even that Minnesota game where a guy like Cooper Rush was able to come back in and kind of get a little bit of rhythm going as well too. So I mean, you don't want it to all just be in the beginning of the season and then there's nothing at the end of the season. So I like that other teams, other people are getting into the special teams, whether anything. It's just that I like the depth. I mean, we're seeing other teams right now struggle with the starters going out, and once that starter goes out, man, that team goes flat. I think we saw with Miami. I got to give Tua a little bit more credit. When Tua went out for that offense kind of it's staggered, and came back in. It's been a little bit more electric. I mean, they're not shooting it way down the field, but obviously they know how to get it to their receivers. So I like what
absolutely.
And so when I'm saying that, I do like how Dak has kind of been distributing the ball to different people. It's not just one guy that he's targeting. It's not a Rams team that just has Cooper Kupp and everybody else is just a no name. We got some weapons on this team, and it's nice to see that they're getting the ball into their hand into open space. Like Tony Pollard, man. Like how late are that? 3 years? 3 years too late, but I mean, it's nice to see them finally doing it.
Hey, Dizzy, honestly, as an Indy fan, you guys need to stop rolling out 3 safety formation. Wilson, Curse, and Hooker sharing time ain't cutting it. Focus on 2. That's the one thing, and he brings up a good point. Indy really can run the ball. For my money, Jonathan Taylor is the best back in the league.
Yeah, I agree.
When healthy. So that's what's been happening, Dizzy. Our defensive end have been really focused on attacking the quarterback and not staying. If you notice how we play, like how teams play Jalen Hurts, they just kind of rush upfield, almost like a mush rush, but go directly upfield. Keep him in the tackle box. Don't let Hurts slide out. That's the same thing. But like what happens is these running backs are attacking the edges and they're attacking our nickel defense. We do a lot of nickel with, like he said, a lot of corners with Curse, and that could be an issue. Like I would think tackling early is going to be big because it's no surprise they're going to try and screen passes to death and run the ball. Michael Pittman is a threat.
Yeah,
too.
He is a threat. Yeah, Michael Pittman Jr. is. Yeah, he definitely is. But I think you say our defense. Our defense speed kind of. You saw that with some of these teams.
Bring up a
good
point. We got to. We have to call how we. As an Indy fan, you are right, man. We got to be careful with that. That's why I said our offense is going to help us out. If we can get points up on the board, that might take some of that out of the game. Go ahead, Phil. Sorry.
No, I mean, I was just agreeing with you. I mean, they do have some weapons. That's what I was saying. I mean, Matty Ice can always pull it out of his ass and all of a sudden have a good game out of nowhere. And you know how you always try to elevate that game when you're playing the Cowboys. And I guess a Sunday night football game as well where, you got a lot of the country watching. Hey, man, that's the time to do it. Maybe trying to play for his next contract. Maybe try to blame it more on the Colts offense than on him. But
Jack Meeker brings up, hope Barr don't take Damone snaps. I think Barr.
It's good depth.
I think he's going to be very situational. I think Damone is going to.
That's our guy going forward.
I think Barr may be in on passing downs type of deal, help out with the rush. I think Damone. I think you'll see him in first and second down. I really do. Michael Dana. We need to set the tone early in this game. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we need to. I don't care who you are, man. If you allow teams to stay in the game, you're asking for problems, man. You're asking for problems. That's the one thing, and this is the only good thing I'll say about the Eagles. This podcast is they beat all the teams that they're supposed to beat. As ugly as it is, missed field goal against Arizona to go into overtime. They should have lost that game. The Colts game, it was a great drive at the end of the game. They did what they had to do. They should have lost that game. They're sneaking out a lot of these games by the hair of their chinny chin, no pun intended. But they're winning these games, ugly as it be. We need to just blow the doors off them tomorrow. And I'm sorry, you're dizzy, but we need to put up the 14, 21 points early and make Matty Ice.
Yeah, because otherwise the Colts
we need to put his ass on ice because you give a team like that life, man, you're asking for trouble.
I agree. Yeah, there's definitely, again, a recipe there for it. Dizzy, thank you for the subscription. I really honestly appreciate that, man. I appreciate the support. But, you are correct. I mean, you've seen them pull out some of these victories that you're just like, wow, how did they do that? And it was led by the defense, a lot like what we were doing with our backup quarterback, just keeping him in there, allowing him to just not mess the game up. I think, of course, that's what Bryan brings up a good point. I mean, Matt Ryan, he'll give you some turnovers. It's just, are you going to be able to, one, not have like an offsides or some stupid penalty that kind of negates it, or are you going to be able to just kind of like on offense put put those points on the board, because we saw last week, I think, you saw that one where you were talking about with Minnesota, where you got the turnover early, you go down the field, it's a short field, and you put a field goal up. And yeah, even though you come back and do some more points later on, it's still the not turning into a touchdown. So what are you laughing about here?
Well, I'll get to it in a second. Let me get to Colts. First, Glimmer, man, we stopped Barkley, so our defense won't need to rest now. Stuff to run, score points early. I agree. We can get up 14. Yeah,
it could be a long day if they stop the run.
I'm definitely on the same page with you.
Yeah.
Colts Cowboys. I talked to John Machota. John Machota is piped in. He's the man. Nice job, man. About Barr and Clark, and he said they will see how Barr is for the long run. If he slacks, Clark will take over. I agree. And Dizzy, this is what I was laughing at. Crush Matty Ice, I beg you. If you give us Nick Foles, we got a shot. Listen, Nicky Six, he has a statue about a half hour from me outside of the stadium. They love Nick Foles and Philly. Nick Foles ain't running the read option, though. That's what made him good. He actually ran the read option really good. So I don't think the Colts are running the read option. You would think they would take a guy like that and do what he knows. That's the one thing they did. Well, I'm not going to go there. I said I'd make one good thing about Philly, so we're not going to go there. But yeah, he runs the read option. So listen, I got there's one real main topic, and then we'll get into Dak and all. But
yeah,
Odell. What's everybody's thought on Odell Beckham? Because this is what I'm thinking, and I want to hear yes, no. You think he's coming? You think he's not coming? I'm thinking it's less than I originally expected. Rumor is he ain't ready to play. He's not ready to run.
I didn't think he was either. We said end of December. Maybe.
If he's not ready to run, then he's gonna have to sign a 1-year deal for the rest of the year. If you're not ready to run, how can we sign you for a long-term deal? It's not in Odell's best interest to sign a 3-year deal if he can't run yet. That's the rumor.
I'll be the devil's advocate.
He'll give you a physical, but he's not going to run. Then you may have to pay him $2 million for the rest of the year. Would you do that?
I would do it to invest into next year. I mean, to have a receiver like that.
But then you already have him, and then it opens it up to everybody. Everybody's.
Well, no. I'm not. No, I'm talking about. I'm talking about $2 million to sign him for a 2-year. I'm not trying. I'm $2 million this year, and maybe
it will be $2 million just for this year, or $1 million.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's $2 million this year, and then 16 for next year,
and prove he could do something in the playoffs.
Yeah,
man, don't look good.
I like it. I'm not against it. I would sign him for the 2 years, but I'm not doing what you're saying, Brian. I'm signing him for a 2 to 3 year contract. I'm not, and I'm putting the $2 million this year. I'm putting the 2 other ones, and obviously that 3rd year is always where you can drop it, and you don't have
big
that
money though, Phil. And that's what I'm saying. I can't.
Well,
give
he
the guy
wants
big
and everything like
that.
that.
I don't believe that. Colts Cowboys. That's all BS, man. It's saying it reports he wants to be a Giant. That's BS. I don't buy it for a second. That's an agent running that crap out there, and I want to see a poop emoji because that's what it is. There's no way he wants to play with a quarterback situation with the Giants. I could care. I mean, yeah, Daniel Jones has played better, and I give him credit, but they turned down his 5th-year option. They would have to re-sign the guy or go out and get somebody else.
I'm okay with investing.
Gonna go there? I don't think so. Yeah, why would you go there long term? They ain't winning this year. No. I don't buy the whole Giant thing. I would buy an outside team that we're not talking about. I buy him going to the Chiefs this year on a 1-year deal, and then I buy that. But if it's true that he can't run yet.
Well, my whole thing is whether it's this year in any team, whether it's the Cowboys, whether it's he's not going to be the number one. He's not going to be all of a sudden the thing. Again, I'm setting it up for next year, the following. Yes, you can get into the whole money. I'm talking about the possibilities of what. We're not going to have a James Washington coming back. It's like, what was that, 1-year deal? Or, I'm not,
it was a 1-year deal.
So, I mean, you can start to set up this thing and you get a whole offseason to kind of get him going with Dak. I'm not, and he's starting from the beginning offseason in going, hey, our season's over or whatever, whether it's Super Bowl, whether it's playoffs, whatever. you can start kind of doing your thing with him as well too.
Yeah.
So I'm not against it just because it excites me for the next following year. Now that doesn't, there's so many counters. There's a lot of people that play. I don't like the fact that it gives Kellen Moore the possibility of wanting to pass. Well, you can't worry about that. You want to have the weapons,
Yeah,
and not worry about what the coach is doing. I want those weapons, but obviously he's not going to be the exact same
man.
Odell.
I'm just saying it's less than I originally thought. He's talking out both sides of the neck. I want him for.
I could see what Dizzy's saying, where he's saying that he goes to Buffalo. That I could see. That one's the one that I can see.
Now, actually, I don't see it now.
Team up with Stephon Diggs. No, it doesn't matter.
I don't see him going to Buffalo. He's not going to be.
I think
Angelica's right. I think he'll probably be here.
I could agree on that too. Yeah.
Disappointed that. Yeah. I'll be curious to see what the terms are. Let's put it that way. Is it going to be for 1 year? I'm hearing that he might just want a 1 year. And that means he's not where he wants to be physically.
Angelica's like, Kellen needs to worry about Kellen.
The door. Show him the door.
I love that. But I mean, I'm on that pro side as well too. But again, I'm not heartbroken if he goes and signs somewhere else too. I mean, I definitely like the possibility of what he could be within this offense and with the weapons. You had good running backs, all good tight ends. He would add to that receiving core that's Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, and it's just great. And you could go into the draft going, oh, let's get this offensive line, let's get this defensive line stacked up a little bit. And man, you go into next year, whether whatever happens, whether you're repeating into a Super Bowl or you're trying to just come back and have a better season than the last, I think it just gives a lot of potential to this team. So again, remember, yes, we're talking about Odell had an injury and we don't know how he's going to be. The last time he played football, he was going to be Super Bowl MVP. I think he was on the way to that. As much as I don't like him sometimes, I'm interested to see what he would be.
Yeah.
But again, don't be heartbroken.
I'm with Jack. I was watching. This was the other day. Now I said this prior to. I said this a few weeks ago. Here's why I want Odell. Assuming he can be ready for the playoffs at this point. It's not to put up big numbers. It's not to go off. It's for this reason. And who was it that I'm trying to think? It was Bryan Broaddus. It was on the Cowboys break. I like to say where I get some of my info.
Oh yeah,
Brian. I trust Brian. He's a longtime scout, Super Bowl winning scout with Bill Parcells. With Green Bay.
And then he was with
he said like what I was saying. It's for in a playoff game, in a big game, third down. You have Odell who can beat one-on-one coverage and get open and get you a first down. I'm not, in that crunch time when you see Noah Brown getting locked up, you see in Gallup not being able to get separation. The one thing Odell can do, he can get open, even if he's not 100%. He runs his routes just to get that third down in a huge situation. Get down to the red zone, add one more threat. It's going to help CD. It's going to help everybody. It's going to help Mike Gallup.
I agree, man. Those two receivers,
that's why I want them.
Yeah, your receivers there that you're talking about, yes, they very much they thrive on another receiver getting attention. Whether now we got to wait for Odell on third down, and now Gallup's making an amazing sideline catch, and you see CD making those sideline catch, like the deep ball catches. It's like we need those. I mean, we need to add Turpin to that little thing as well too for those deep catches, But you're seeing a lot of different elements within this offense. So that, of course, that's why you get excited about it. So, again, the what ifs. But we'll see what happens by next week, right? I mean, he's be coming by Monday or so.
He's meeting with Dallas Monday.
So we'll see. We'll see how this goes, man. Whether he gets on the plane and gets kicked off, we don't.
Getting into the games tomorrow. I'm actually excited for the games tomorrow.
Let's talk about some games tomorrow then.
Well, just looking at the the slate of games, I'm more of an NFC East. Just looking at what we need to worry about because it is the best division in football right now. Believe it or not.
Yeah, all four teams are
anyway.
All four teams are in the playoffs. If you were to end right now.
Yeah, well, you got the Giants and the Commanders. I'm actually looking forward to that game.
Oh, I am too. I think that's a good game.
It's like, I think Washington, but we'll see what the Giants are made of, because the Giants are home.
I think the Giants. I call Giants there.
+2 at home against Washington.
Okay.
It's interesting to me. Giants are that good, but they're actually an underdog at home. The Eagles are only -4.5 at home against Tennessee. That's a big game, man. Let's put it this way: if that game was in Tennessee, I would like the Titans. I think it's going to be tough for the Titans, but I think it's going to be tough for the Eagles to stop Derrick Henry. I'm telling you now, I think he's getting on a roll. Now, do you have that graphic that we were talking about?
Yes, I do.
Dak against the NFC East. I just want the people out there to know Dak's record. This is his life. This is his career record against the NFC East.
So I mean, I got it up there. So go ahead. You're good.
Yeah, it's.
You see it bigger. It's big.
I mean,
it's right there.
He's what, like 26-6 against the NFC East. I mean, he's 9-1 versus the Commanders.
Ooh, the
He's 10-2 against the Giants, and he's 7-3 against the Eagles. This is after Thanksgiving, this is the time of year where I'm excited to watch the other. I don't watch all the other games a lot. I mean, I'll watch the red zone, but now, there's a good chance that 3 of these teams are going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I was calling that.
I'm more interested to see how much that the Commanders can keep this up, and I'm interested to see how the Eagles come out. Let's face it, they're winning. Props to them, but they ain't looking great. And they're getting ready to go on a 3-game road trip. Wouldn't this be a nice way to send them, on the road is with a loss, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 26-6. So anybody who wants to talk crap about Dak and the division, listen, man, that's the proof right there. He owns the division, owns it. So I'm hoping that all these teams make the playoff. That means there's a good chance we're going to be playing a divisional game, as opposed to a team from the conference who, the Niners. Everybody's talking about how great the Niners are.
Well, I mean, they do. They have some potential. I think that's a lot of.
They have potential. They do. Jimmy G, good-looking guy. I'm not gonna.
He's a gorgeous man.
Shade at him. He's a handsome man. Jan is a handsome man.
Yeah, I was like, man, that guy. In another universe, you know how they have the multiverse where he could put it somebody else. He could have easily been a Superman actor right there.
So what do people think? The Eagles win tomorrow?
I think so. Just because I think
what do you think about that?
I just don't think Tennessee is the same team as they were. I mean, I would probably give it more.
Though, man, they're playing good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a recipe there. I just don't see. I just don't see it. I mean, again, we could go in there and all of a sudden they could just whoop them. But I mean, I think it's really the way that the matchup is kind of laid out. I think it really favors the Eagles.
Will win again against them. I'll be honest, they're going to be close, but I think they'll put a drive together to win the game. But I could see it going the other way, man. That's the one game that scares me. Well, I told Phil, the Jacksonville game scares me because it's before, before the Philly game. That's just like Dallas to beat Philly, lose to Jacksonville, So,
yes. So as we talk, Angelica says Giants and Commanders just need to tie. Just go ahead and while Mike finishes that off, so they can just go ahead and fight for third and fourth place in the NFC East. I mean, and we're definitely for that. I want to see them
4:00 because I think they're both 1:00 games. So I'll be
and that's the thing about it.
The Eagle game.
You just
in
hope
my area, I'll have the red zone, but I'll be stuck watching the Eagle game. And if that's a blow, there is a potential they could blow them out. If they put up points, I don't think Tennessee's the type of team that could score a lot of points in a short period of time. But we'll see. I think the Giants game will be good. Giants +2 at home. I actually kind of like the Giants. That sounds weird.
Yeah, I would say I think the Giants in that matchup. But yeah, I mean, the NFC East is looking good. I mean, again, we were a joke of the league. It's funny how all these other teams can be a joke of the league for decades, and the moment that our NFC East is bad for like 2 or 3 years because you do need to rebuild. We're in competition most of the time, and I think it's funny.
Fired.
What is it?
MG Commanders will knock Dallas out of the playoffs. Oh man, please, that would be a nightmare. That's a good. Eagles will destroy Dallas. Yeah, I don't know, man. Eyebrows.
I think that's more of a wishful thinking. Just put it out there.
Yeah,
we'll just see
listen.
it. Like, hey, I mean, I get you. But I mean, they're a team that they have to worry about.
Record against the NFC East. There's only one team that would even have a shot against us in the playoffs. I'm sorry, and that would be the Eagles. The other two, I think, if you got stuck playing us, don't get me wrong, it's tough to beat a team 3 times. So
that's true. That's what I'm saying.
I expect us to win that. Will be our luck. We'll come down to a Christmas Eve game before the marbles. I have the family shit, and we'll have a hard time watching the game. Yeah, I was just telling Phil Glimmerman that I'll be working. I hopefully get done around 5, so I'm gonna miss the beginning of the game. So I'm gonna be annoyed, but I wish it was a later game. I believe it's a 4:25, so that kind of sucks for me. But whatever, I'll hurry up and get done, I guess.
He's already depressed right now. It's not even Christmas time. You can hear it in Brian's voice. Oh, good. Yeah. He's already frustrated. Yeah. The shift hasn't even came for work. I like it.
Yeah.
So
if Hurts gets hurt, I'll get ready for a crybaby birthday. Good Lord. We'll see, Dizzy. I mean,
but they got a good backup. I like their backup quarterback. Didn't you? The mustache?
I wish it was a nighttime game too, man. Me too. So.
Yeah, I don't
it's
like
about
those
that time,
nighttime.
Phil. It's about that time. We need
I was
to
trying to get
our
your
prediction.
I was
We're
trying to
up
get
against
your
the hour here.
animation to try to go across at some point. But Angelica's been waiting for it. I know she wanted to know what your prediction was going to be. She wanted to see what the mail was delivering.
She's already seen the damn prediction, but my man Glimmerman. But yeah, well,
it's
just been locked away already. This has been hermetically sealed. So I don't know. He must have
Glimmerman is really good at predicting scores like that.
Check out what's going on,
but not lottery numbers. You need to use that on lottery numbers, man. Yeah.
All right. What do you think, man? What do you think's going to happen tomorrow?
So as we say this, of course, we go back to what Dizzy was talking about. Is there a possibility? Yes, there's always a possibility for the Cowboys to lose and get in their own damn way because we've seen it. I see that, we've seen this team also get into holes, be able to pull itself out because of the talent. Eventually the talent starts to wear on the other team. You got these 2 running backs, whether one's hitting you around the side, whether one's hitting you in the hole. I love the matchups all across the board. I like even the matchup on the defense for the Colts going against us. I think it's good test. So, of course, I could see us putting up a 40 or 50 burger, within the potential. But, I don't think it's going to be like that. I think now... I don't think I'm going to go like this again because I did this the other time and it made this a close game, so I apologize if I do it again. But I don't think the Colts score a touchdown. I think they're field goals. I want to say they get about 9 points, and I think it's a 31-9 victory for the Cowboys. And I think the Colts could definitely give us some where we kind of get sluggish there. So to me, 31-9. Dallas Cowboys victory, and it gets this team on a rhythm for the next couple of games that we could definitely take it. So what about the chat? I get a chat doing their thing.
Yeah,
what do you guys think?
Chat in here.
What do you guys think? We had it earlier in the thing. A lot of them was in the 40s. You got Angelica. You had I didn't want to say Glimmerman's because Glimmerman's was really close to yours, right?
Yeah, real close.
So I mean, I don't even have a drum roll. The only drum roll I have is that one.
Yeah.
I don't think that counts.
Indy fan, Dallas 23, Indy 17. Congrats.
And that could be a close game too, and that's exactly because this Colts defense has allowed this Colts team to stay in game. So yes, I mean it definitely has the potential to be a very close game and swing another way. So yeah, go. I like it.
I look at it this way, and I was originally with you, Phil, that look at the MG 37-3. There you go, Indy. That happened.
Oh, wow, damn.
I'm done. That's it for me. It's been nice, people.
Yeah, we just don't.
And you know what? That red stripe may have never come out.
We're like, woohoo! Maher scored a field goal. Woo-woo.
What was I gonna say?
No,
Yeah.
you're talking about the matchup. Sorry, my bad. Like, yeah,
No.
Angelica
What
says
you?
40
I
to
was
17.
startled by the MG's score there.
He likes to
34-13, but I'm changing it to 27-6. Okay. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. My thing is, I'm with you. I don't see the Colts necessarily scoring a touchdown, but Dallas always seems to give one drive away. Whether that's why I was telling you, don't do anything stupid. If it's 4th and a half a yard at your 40-yard line, I probably wouldn't do it. But maybe 50-yard line, fine. I don't see any reason to have to go for stuff. Yeah. I don't see any reason to have to be risky like that. Hunt the ball away and make Matt Ryan beat you. That's it. And if we see Nick Foles, we're gonna kill Nick Foles. He's not running a read option.
MJ's
so they're gonna score a touchdown somewhere, somehow. It'll be a long pass to Pittman. That's a pass interference, and it'll be a 1 yard or 1 foot run by
Anthony Brown. Always tends to leave those
touchdowns.
Yeah, leave those available. So yeah, I definitely can see that as well. I mean, that's where I see that's why I got to give them the field goals, because I mean, I like this defense matchup and being able to stop them if they do get on our side of the field. But that's why I say I have to give them the field goals, because I do see the potential there, because I do see a Pittman can get behind Anthony Brown. You've seen Anthony Brown trail a lot.
Best rapper alive. Nakobe Dean and I had the same stats. Yeah, I have the same amount of tackles.
Yeah, best rapper alive is Samuel Rowe, right? Samuel Rowe? I think that's who it is.
Enormous.
Oh man, that's Madden. That's Madden shit right there.
Yeah, right. It's Madden now, because Madden. I'm telling you, there's something going. Yeah, Madden always finds a way to even that shit out.
You start turning it over.
Fails.
Yeah. Gotta take that competitive off. Competitive mode.
Yeah.
Washington want to win the Super Bowl.
The AI.
Yeah,
all right, man.
But anyway, so
I'm gonna
go ahead, do your thing, man.
Yeah, well, Glimmer, man, you could have kept with it, man. It's all it's all good. It's all good.
Another one.
And another one.
Oh, sorry. All right, I have. The line is going into the game. Dallas minus 10.5. And I think I might go to 11 by game time. But as of now, it's 10.5 and 44.5. I have the Cowboys winning. Glimmerman 34, Colts 13.
Yeah, wow.
So I like Cowboys
38-13. Him
minus the 10.5 and over the 44.5. 34-13, Cowboys.
Nice.
So. And like I'm with Phil, I don't really see a touchdown, but Dallas will always give away a touchdown.
And that's what Glimmerman was saying
one
too.
Touchdown and then a couple field goals.
Yeah, Glimmerman was thinking that.
Maybe,
he goes, they'll have 6 points up until garbage time, and then they'll allow that TD. Like they do it.
Yeah.
And I think, if anything, that last week should be more of a wake up call. Like, hey man, and I don't care whether you're trying to, we're trying to be nice and for the sports, good sportsmanship. You saw last week where whether it was seconds on the board, still allowing them to score the touchdown, and at the end was just kind of like made the game look closer. I don't want to see that, man. I want to see them put these teams away. I want to see them score touchdowns. And yeah, I mean, it does suck for the other team, but hey, man, you're supposed to stop this team. And so, yeah, he's still hating them there. I love it. But anything you want to talk about before we get out of here, Brian? It's already hitting the hour.
I would say this,
and we might start going later.
It was a long week. We did 3 shows last week, almost like Dallas. I think we did 3 shows in 10 days or something. I actually missed talking to the people, so I want to give a shout out to everybody who came out, man. We really appreciate everybody, even MG, man.
Yeah, we love the hate. We love it.
That's cool, man.
I like the different
Izzy, thanks for stopping in.
Us,
hopefully, we're an equal opportunity podcast here, so we appreciate it. And, anyone that's willing to take their time out and watch.
Even on the replays, man, we appreciate it, man. Trust me. Just again, and I've said this early in the the broadcast earlier in the streaming that hey, just
Yeah,
to be at 5 or 7 would be amazing.
Definitely.
You know,
Man,
well, the audio is not all messed up. You know, I think that's the big one. Remember the beginning of the audio all the time?
That's basically it, man. I mean, like I kind of missed having that 2 podcasts a week.
I did.
We're getting back into it now. We're getting ready for the stretch run, regardless of what happens. I think I'm not sure who said it. Maybe Glimmerman. He said like a lot's or Jack, like a lot's going to come down to that Eagle game. I'm telling you now, if we don't have a hiccup before the Eagle game and we win the Eagle game, we're going to win the division. We're going to have the bye. That's what I really want. But at the end of the day, it don't matter. It's how you're playing at the end of the year. Yeah. So that's why games like tomorrow night, I'm not worried about Houston. I know, knock on wood. Games like Jacksonville, in Jacksonville, those games scare me because I want that Christmas Eve game to mean something.
Yep.
And that's where I'm at. So, you know, it's one more night. As they say in the UFC, I'm a big UFC fan. You know, one more sleep, right?
Yep.
Tomorrow night's the game, so it's game time.
Yeah,
game
man.
time tomorrow night. Go Cowboys.
I'm excited to see what this potential for this team, and we talked about it through this past hour, man. There's a lot of good matchups. There's a lot of good football to be seen, and we'll see if it's a good coming down to the end type of game. Will Kellen Moore do his goofy shit? Will Dan Quinn stand up and against his a former coach that he used to coach with? Will Mike McCarthy go for it on 4th down when he doesn't need to? Will we be hitting 60-yard field goals and making Tony Pollard run 17 yards to get 1 yard? I'm just interested to see how we mature going into the season. And one thing I appreciate everybody coming through. I appreciate even the hate. I appreciate you guys on the replay. And Bryan, man, I appreciate you always holding it down with me, man. I appreciate that.
Thanks, man. Phil, that's what we do, right, man? We stumbled on something. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't subscribe to his channel, GameTime Bryan. I have it down here in the description as well. Give him a thing. He'll start throwing some stuff.
Yeah, I haven't done much, but I've been real busy. But you find me here. But yes, check me out. Yeah, man. And guys who on the replay, I appreciate you guys coming through. Hit that like button on the way out, but don't forget to always ring that bell. Heck yeah, right? All right.
Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work.
What you do? You're like a little screw loose type of guy, and that's how I am. So I'm digging it, big guy. I am.
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
Just answer the damn questions. Who are you?
GameTime Bryan, otherwise known as the mailman here.
Cool name. Superpowers?
Broadcasting from the illustrious Jobu Studios.
Come on, are you going to tell me who that is?
Primetime Phil. And of course, my co-host, GameTime Bryan.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this place is going to explode. $100,000. I don't even need to hear it.